is setting up. Okay, done. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashad Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, we are going to have what we read. So, thank you for joining. Those of you have joined today. Very grateful to all of you. So, it's a very important, auspicious time when we are actually reading Bhagavad Gita, because today only I was just discussing, some group of people had come. How Bhagavad Gita is the love letter of Lord Krishna. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita for you and me. He just made instrument, Krishna, Arjuna the instrument. Yesterday, that day we discussed. So Gita is actually spoken to you and me personally. It's a love letter of Krishna. So how attentive we should be. Somebody who is the supremely beloved of ours. He has such unconditional, infinite love for us, unconditional love for us. And he is giving us this love letter in the form of Bhagavad Gita. How attentively we should read it. How attentively we should hear it. Like in this world also, when some, so-called, in this world, when the relationship, when some person may be considering somebody as a lover. So if some letter comes, how anxious the person is in terms of reading that letter. He feels, oh, it's such a valuable thing, and every line he wants to, again he reads, correct? In this world, we can see that kind of thing. So, and that is nothing but simply mundane love. Basically, many times it's just lust only, actually. Not many times, it is lust only. But in this world, the love of Krishna for all the living is true love. It's unconditional, is infinite. His most loving personality, and he has intimate, loving love for each and every one of us individually. So how eager we should be to read Gita and to hear Gita. It's loved it. So with that mood, let us today read. So it's Krishna's love we are receiving through his Bhagavad Gita. And Srila Prabhupada, like great Vaishnava, their compassion, their love for us, they are giving this commentary and purport and collecting the love of all the acharyas and giving us. So this is how you can see this Bhagavad Gita is so vital, so important for all of us. So, so let us read today, keeping that mood. I'm sharing the screen. So let us read this verse again. Nirma. So everybody can repeat after me. Can unmute and repeat. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha.
Adhyatma nitya vinvritta kama.
No. I said Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha.
Nirmana moha
jita sanga dosha.
Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha.
Nirmana
moha jita sanga dosha.
Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama.
Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama.
Dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha samner.
Dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha samner.
Gachanti amudha padamavyayam tat.
Gachanti amudha padam avyayam tat.
That padam avyayam, or eternal kingdom, can be reached by one who is nirmana moha. Just 1 minute. Can somebody read? Please go ahead reading.
I will read, Prabhu.
Yeah, go ahead.
That Padmam Avyayam
Padam Avyayam.
Oh, sorry. That Padam Avyayam or eternal kingdom can be reached by one who is Nirmala, Nirmana Moha. What does this mean? We are after designations. Someone wants to become Sir, someone wants to become Lord, someone wants to become the president or a rich man or a king or something else. As long as we are attached to these designations, we are attached to the body because designations belong to the body. But we are not these bodies, and realizing this is the first stage in spiritual realization. We are associated with the three modes of material nature, but we must become detached through devotional service to the Lord. If we are not attached to devotional service to the Lord, then we cannot become detached from the modes of material nature. Designations and attachments are due to our lust and desire, our wanting to lord it over the material nature. As long as we do not give up this propensity of lording it over material nature, there is no possibility of returning to the kingdom of supreme, the Sanatana Dharma. That eternal kingdom, which is never destroyed, can be approached by one who is not bewildered by the attractions of false material enjoyments, who is situated in the service of the Supreme Lord. One so situated can easily approach that supreme abode. Elsewhere in
Not
the
abode. Supreme abode.
supreme abode.
You stop. You can stop here. No problem. So the eternal kingdom is never destroyed, can be approached by one who is not bewildered by attractions of false material enjoyment, who is situated in the service of the Supreme Lord. One so situated can easily approach the Supreme Lord. A little bit explains it. So the powerful words comes again. It will come. We'll go through again. You see, the eternal kingdom, can be reached only by nirmana moha. That means the person who has given up all designations, material designations. So we are all thinking in this world that I am this, I am that. So many varieties of designations we keep in our mind. I'm an ITN, I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm Brahmin, I'm Kshatriya, I'm businessman, I'm father, I'm mother, I'm husband and wife, and I'm rich, I'm poor. So many varieties of designations. So all the designations are material designations. All it's called man. It's aham, it's ahankar. So nirmana moha, it says. No. So we have to give up all these illusory designations. We have to give up. So someone wants to become sir, someone wants to become lord, someone wants to become the president, rich man, king, all this. As long as we're attached to these designations, we're attached to the body. Because designations belong to the body. But we are not these bodies. Realizing this is the first stage in spiritualization. The first thing is to understand I'm not the body, I'm soul. Nirmana moha. We are associated with the three modes of material nature, but we must become detached through devotional service to the Lord. The only way to become detached from this bodily conception of life is by performing devotional service, actually. More you perform devotional service, you are instated in your designation as I'm servant of Krishna. Because devotional service innate has that, it is ingrained in the spirit and in the understanding and conviction that I'm servant of Krishna. Because otherwise, how can you render devotional service? So if you render devotional service, you'll be purified of all your material attachments and designations. So we are associated with the three modes of material nature, but we must become detached through devotional service to the Lord. So devotional service is a powerful program which purifies your false ego. And then you can be instated in your real ego as that I'm servant of the Lord. Designations and attachments are due to our lust and desire, our wanting to lord it over the material nature. As long as we do not give up, as long as we do not give up this propensity of lording it over material nature, there is no possibility of returning to the kingdom of the Supreme Lord, the Sanatana Dharma. That means we have to give up this propensity of lording it over and accept the real position of ours as servant of the Supreme Lord and servant of all. So then only we can enter the kingdom of God, Sanatana Dharma. That eternal kingdom which is never destroyed can be approached by one who is not bewildered by the attractions of false material enjoyments. Why we want to go for material enjoyment? When we think I'm material body. When we think I am the master, I'm supposed to lord over, I'm supposed to exploit, lord over and extract happiness by lording over. So when, and that happens when we are influenced by false ego. But when we understand that I'm servant, then we give up this enjoying propensity. Then you want to serve the Lord. Even if you are given a lot of money, you will not enjoy with that money. You will use that money in Krishna's service. Even though you may have nice family, you don't want to enjoy that family life. You want to use that family in service of Krishna. Even though you may have a lot of influence and fame, people respecting you, you don't want to enjoy that. You want to use all that in the service of Krishna. So this is how a devotee should live his life. So eternal kingdom, which is never destroyed, can be approached by one who is not bewildered by the attractions of false material enjoyment. So this is attraction, temptations of so many varieties of things may come to us. But we should be willing to use all that in Krishna's service, or rather keep yourself simple. Don't don't chase after them. If it comes, use it for Krishna's service. If it comes on its own accord, if it comes as per the destiny, use it for Krishna's service. Don't chase after the things of this world to enjoy in a material way, material enjoyment. So propensity of material enjoyment is actually opposite of making advancement in Krishna consciousness. So more you give up, or more you make advancement, the more your propensity to do material enjoyment will be less and less, like that. So those who give up this whole propensity of material enjoyment, they can actually go to the kingdom of God, because then you want to serve the Lord. You don't want to enjoy, you want to serve. And by service, you get real enjoyment. That's the real enjoyment. So it's situated in the service of the Lord. So he's saying who gives up, who is not bewildered by the attractions of false material enjoyment, who is situated in the service of the Supreme Lord. One so situated can easily approach that Supreme Abode. Elsewhere in the Gita 8.21 it is stated, can repeat after me, Avyakto akshara iti uktas tam ahu paramam gatim yam prapena nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Avyakta means unmanifested. Not even all the material world is manifested before us. Our senses are so imperfect that we cannot even see all the stars within this material universe. In Vedic literature, we can receive much information about all the planets. You can receive the knowledge in Vedic scriptures about different planets. And we can believe it or not believe it. All of the important planets are described in Vedic literature, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. And the spiritual world, which is beyond this material sky, is described as avyakta, unmanifested. One should desire and hanker after that supreme kingdom. For when one attains that kingdom, he does not have to return to this material world. So one should desire and hanker. One should desire and hanker after that supreme kingdom. We keep desiring and hankering for so many things. We should desire and hanker after that supreme kingdom. For when one attains that kingdom, he does not have to return to this material world. Yeah. So when we are hankering in this world, then we will remain in this world only. But if you hanker and desire for the spiritual world, then you will go to spiritual world. What you hanker and desire, you eventually make progress there. So next, one may raise the question of how one goes about approaching that abode of the Supreme Lord. So information of this is given in 8th chapter. It is said there, Antakale cha mameva smaran yukta karevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshayaha. Can someone read the translation, please? And whoever at the end of his... Yeah, go ahead.
And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Yeah. So at the end of the life, one who quits his body remembering the Lord, he attains the Lord's that nature. That means divine nature. Of this there is no doubt. That means he doesn't become God, but he attains the divine position of being divine servant of the Lord. So one who thinks of Krishna at the time of his death goes to Krishna. One must remember the form of Krishna. If he quits his body thinking of this form, he surely approaches the spiritual kingdom. Mad Bhavam refers to the supreme nature of the Supreme Being. The Supreme Being is Sachidananda Vigraha. Bhakti Brahma Samhita 5.1. That is, his form is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. Our present body is not Sachidananda. It is Asat, not Sat. It is not eternal. It is perishable. It is not Chit, full of knowledge, but it is full of ignorance. We have no knowledge of the spiritual kingdom. Nor do we even have perfect knowledge of this material world, where there are so many things unknown to us. The body is also Nirananda. Instead of being full of bliss, it is full of misery. All of the miseries we experience in the material world arise from the body. But one who leaves this body thinking of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at once attains a Sachidananda body. The process of quitting this body and getting another body in the material world is also organized. A man dies after it has been decided what form of body he will have in the next life. Higher authority is not the living entity himself make the decision. According to our activities in this life, we either rise or sink. This life is a preparation for the next life. If we can prepare, therefore, in this life to get promotion to the kingdom of God, then surely After quitting this material body, we will attain a spiritual body just like the Lord's. As explained before, there are different kinds of transcendentalists. As like the Lord's means spiritual. The Lord is infinite, we are infinite simul, but we'll have a spiritual existence, spiritual form. As explained before, there are different kinds of transcendentalists, the Brahmavadi, Paramatmavadi, and the devotee. And as mentioned in the Brahma Jyoti sky, there are innumerable spiritual planets. The number of these planets is far, far greater than all the planets of this material world. This material world has been approximated as only 1/4 of the creation. Ekam Chinastito Jagat, Bhagavad Gita 10.42. In this material segment, there are millions and billions of universes with trillions of planets and suns and stars and moons. But this whole material creation is only a fragment of the total creation. Most of the creation is in the spiritual sky. One who desires to merge into the existence of the Supreme Brahman is at once transferred to the Brahma Jyoti of the Supreme Lord. So one who desires to merge into the existence of the Supreme Brahman is at once transferred to the Brahma Jyoti of the Supreme Lord, and thus attains the spiritual sky. The devotee wants to enjoy the association of the Lord, enters into the Vaikuntha planets, which are innumerable, and the Supreme Lord, by his plenary expansions as Narayana, with 4 hands and with different names like Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Govinda, associates with him there. Therefore, at the end of life, the transcendentalists think either of the Brahma Jyoti, the Paramatma, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. In all cases, they enter into a spiritual sky, but only the devotee or he who is in personal touch with the Supreme Lord enters into the Vaikuntha planets or the Golok Vrindavan planet. The Lord further adds that of this there is no doubt. This must be believed firmly. We should not reject that which does not tally with our imagination. Our attitude should be that of Arjuna. I believe everything that you have said. Therefore, when the Lord says that at the time of death, whoever thinks of him as Brahman or Paramatma or as a personality of Godhead certainly enters into the spiritual sky. There is no doubt about it. There's no question of disbelieving it. But we should not be desiring some Brahma Jyoti or some kind of neutral. We should desire to attain the Supreme Lord and develop an intimate relationship of loving and serving the Lord. So that's why among all spiritual planets, the Goloka is the highest planet as well. So yes, all these people who are Brahmavadis, Paramatmavadis may also attain spiritual sky. But Brahmavadi attaining spiritual sky is not much of use because it's just getting into spiritual sky but remaining in Brahma Jyoti only. It doesn't have any active reciprocation of the Lord. So that's why these people are not truly liberated, because they may again fall back because they don't have any active reciprocation of love. So that is a danger. And those who are Paramatmavadis, they may have a neutral relationship and they may go to the Vaikuntha if they have that some reverence and awe and reverence for the Lord. They are glorifying the Lord. So they may enter into Vaikuntha, but they remain not so intimate. They will be engaging in glorifying, serving the Lord in more awe and reverence. But the devotees who develop spontaneous love for the Lord in great intimacy, so these are the people who can go to Goloka Vrindam. And that is a very intimate, loving exchanges of the Lord with his devotees. In Sasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhuri Ras. The very high rasas. Bhagavad Gita 8.6 also explains the general principle that makes it possible to enter the spiritual kingdom simply by thinking of the Supreme at the time of death. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam triti ante kalevaram tam tamevati kanteya sadat bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers, when he quits his present body, in his next life he will attain to that state without fail. Now, first we must understand that material nature is a display of one of the energies of the Supreme Lord. In the Vishnu Purana 6.7.61, the total energies of the Supreme Lord are delineated. Vishnu Shakti para aprokta kshetra nakhya tatha para avidya karma samyagya tritiya shakti rishyate. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhila 6.134. The Supreme Lord has diverse and innumerable energies which are beyond our conceptions. However, great learned sages or liberated souls have studied these energies and have analyzed them into 3 parts. All of the energies are of Vishnu Shakti, that is to say, they are different potencies of Lord Vishnu. The first energy is Para, transcendental. Living beings also belong to superior energy, as has already been explained. The other energies or material energies are in the mode of ignorance. At the time of death, either we can remain in the inferior energy of this material world, or we can transfer to the energy of the spiritual world. So the Bhagavad Gita says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam teti ante kalevaram tam tamevati gauntaya satad bhavavitaha. So another I repeated. Can you read the translation?
Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his present body, in his next life he will attain to that state without fail.
Yeah. If others also want to participate, can participate, but you have to be very quick. You have to be very quick. Immediately you have to jump in reading. Then it is fine. I cannot call out the name and you can immediately have to read. If you want to read, you can participate. But you have to be like, okay. So in life, we are accustomed to thinking either of the material or of the spiritual energy. Now, how can we transfer our thoughts from the material energy to the spiritual energy? Correct? This is a common question people may ask. Okay, we are accustomed to thinking either of the material or of spiritual energy, but how can we transfer our thoughts from the material energy to spiritual energy? Many times are accustomed to think in the material way only, right? So how can we think, in terms of spiritual things like spiritual energy? So there are so many literatures which fill our thoughts with the material energy. Newspapers, magazines, novels, etc. Our thinking, which is now absorbed in these literatures, must be transferred to the Vedic literatures. We are doing that. Now we are reading Gita. How many of you observed that last time when we read 2 hours, then there was some kind of things were ringing in our mind. Some points were coming. Something was ringing. There's a deep impression. How many of you felt that? Some kind of impression you are carrying.
Like exactly, we got to know more things, Prabhuji, like which we were not aware of. That was one good point.
Yeah, and also by long reading, it goes more. It penetrates. Our so many points will come again and again. Like Lord wants it, demands it. He says. Everybody in the Kali Yuga is thinking that they can be happy by having more and more material comforts, but it is not possible. It says that. The chapter is saying that. So many points come like this, which will be which can ring in your mind, can stay there. You can think about it. So that's how our thinking can be towards the Vedic literatures. Thinking can be subject matter of what we are reading in the Vedas. Today, like we are reading how Nirmana Moha, Jitasanga Dosha, how we have to become freed from material attachments, freed from body designations. So we are so attached to body, we are so much identifying with our material designations. So it can give us a lot of food for thought. So our thinking, which is now absorbed in these literatures, must be transferred to the Vedic literatures. The great sages, therefore, have written so many Vedic literatures, such as the Puranas. Puranas are not imaginative; they are historical records. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 20.132, there is the following verse: Maya Mugda Jivernahi Swata Krishna Gyan Jivera Kripaya Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. The forgetful living entities or conditioned souls have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord, and they're engrossed in thinking of material activities. Just to transfer their thinking power to the spiritual sky, Krishna, the Dvaipayana, Vyasa, has given a great number of Vedic literatures. First, he divided the Vedas into 4. Then he explained them in the Puranas. And for less capable people, he wrote the Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, there is given the Bhagavad Gita. Then all Vedic literature is summarized in the Vedanta Sutra. And for future guidance, he gave a natural commentation on the Vedanta Sutra called Srimad Bhagavatam. That's how Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of all the Vedas. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you have read all the Vedas. We must always engage our minds in reading these literatures, Vedic literatures. Just as materialists engage their minds in reading newspapers, magazines, and so many materialistic literatures, we must transfer our reading to these literatures, which are given to us by Vyasadeva. In that way, it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of death. See, this is how we can transfer our thoughts towards the Supreme Lord, by reading these Vedic literatures like that. So people read cinema magazines, people read sports magazines, people read film fairs, so many things they read. That's how they're thinking about all the celebrities and sense gratification, varieties of recreation, so many things like that. That spoils their life, that makes them more and more entangled in this world. So if you divert your mind to Vedic literatures, then your thought process becomes sublime, because your mind gets involved, absorbed in thinking about some sublime subject matters. So more we should read, more we read, more we hear from the Vedic literatures, more your mind can be absorbed in Krishna. So that's very important point here. So you must transfer. Proper says transfer. Transfer means already we are doing all this reading, hearing. Just transfer it to Vedic literatures. So that is the only way suggested by the Lord, and He guarantees the result. There is no doubt. See? So in that way, it will be possible to remember the Supreme Lord. In that way, that's when you remember the Lord, then you attain Him. So this is the verse. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yuddhacha mayarpitamano buddhir mameveshasi samshayaha. Read translation.
Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in form of Krishna, and at the same time continue your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
Yeah. So you always think of me. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Mamanuspedacha. When you continue your prescribed duty of fighting, you think of me. Your activity is dedicated to me and your mind intends fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. There's a way we should live our life. Go with 8.7. We does not advise, he does not advise Arjuna simply to remember him and give up his occupation. No, the Lord never suggests anything impractical. In this material world, in order to maintain the body, one has to work. Human society is divided according to work into 4 divisions of social order: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Brahmana class or intelligent class is working in one way. The Kshatriya or administrative class is working in another way. And the mercantile class and laborers are all tending to their specific duties. In the human society, whether one is a laborer, merchant, administrator, or farmer, or even if one belongs to the highest class and is a literary man, a scientist, or a theologian, he has to work in order to maintain his existence. The Lord therefore tells Arjuna that he need not give up his occupation. But while he is engaged in his occupation, he should remember Krishna, Mamanusmara. He does not practice, if he does not practice remembering Krishna while he is struggling for existence, then it will not be possible for him to remember Krishna at the time of death. So what is saying that human society you may have to do, you may be laborer, merchant, administrative farmer, highest class and literary man, scientist, you have to work in order to maintain your existence. But the Lord therefore tells Arjuna that he need not give up his occupation, but while he is engaged in occupation, he should remember Krishna. So while doing our activities, we have to remember the Lord. And for remembering the Lord, we have to read and hear. So we should also have time for reading, for hearing, for cultivating our Krishna consciousness. Then we will be able to do our activities also while remembering Krishna. So we should remember Krishna. Mamanusmara. If he does not practice remembering Krishna while he is struggling for existence, so we have to practice remembering Krishna by reading Vedic literature, by reading Bhagavatam, by reading Bhagavad Gita. So this is how we can practice remembering Krishna. So if he does not practice remembering Krishna while he is struggling for existence, then it will not be possible for him to remember Krishna at the time of death. Lord Chaitanya also advises this. He says, Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. One should practice chanting the names of the Lord always. The names of the Lord and the Lord are non-different. So Lord Krishna's instruction to Arjuna to remember me, and Lord Chaitanya's instruction to always chant the names of Lord Krishna, Kirtaniya Sada Hari, are the same instruction. There is no difference because Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different. In the absolute status, there is no difference between reference and the referent. Therefore, we have to practice remembering the Lord always, 24 hours a day, by chanting his names and molding our life's activities in such a way that we can remember him always. How is this possible? The Acharyas give the following example. Somebody can read this, somebody else can read this example. Nice example.
If a married woman is attached to another man, or if a man has an attachment for a woman other than his wife, then the attachment is to be considered very wrong.
Very strong. Of course, it is wrong,
Very
but strong also.
One with such an attachment is always thinking of the loved one. The wife who is thinking of her love is always thinking
her lover.
A lover is always thinking of meeting him, even while she is carrying out her household chores. In fact, she carries out her household work even more carefully to her husband.
So
Her
her husband.
husband will not suspect her attachment. Similarly, we should always remember the supreme lover, Sri Krishna, and at the same time perform our material duties very nicely. A strong sense of love is required here. If we have a strong sense of love for the Supreme Lord, then we can discharge our duty and at the same time remember Him. But we have to develop that sense of love. Arjuna, for instance, was always thinking of Krishna. He was the constant companion of Krishna, and at the same time, he was a warrior. The Krishna did not advise him to give up fighting and go to the forest to meditate. When Lord Krishna delineates the yoga system to Arjuna, the Arjuna says that the practice of this system is not possible for him.
Yeah, I can stop. So see, beautiful example, right? So this is not the good, it's a negative example in this world. Like when somebody may have paramour. Paramour means the lover, the wife may have a lover outside her marriage. Some other person apart from her husband. So such a lady, she's an unchaste wife, right? Unchaste lady. So she may do all her household chores very nicely, in a way that husband will not doubt on her, because she's serving nicely. So husband will think, oh, she is attached to me only. This is good wife, good lady, like that. But she actually has some deep sense of attachment to some lover, paramour. So which is not a good example in this world. But actually, that's how he's saying, same way we should have our lover Krishna, who is like our paramour. Means, of course, he's the real object of our love, and that is not wrong. And so we should have a strong sense of love towards the Lord. So while doing our activities, also we should be able to remember him. So we may do all our activities very nicely, responsibly. Not like we are irresponsible. We do. Just like the wife, who has a paramour, will do all the duties very nicely, for the husband. And so that husband, will not suspect. But she will actually always remember, the paramour. So she was saying, similarly, we should always remember the Supreme Lover, Sri Krishna, and at the same time perform our material duties very nicely. So strong sense of love is required here. But how the strong sense of love will come, my dear devotees? The strong sense of love will come when you take out a very intense time, for being with Krishna, especially chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and reading this Vedic literature like Srimad Bhagavata, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. When you do that, then your attachment for Krishna will develop. You become more and more attached to Krishna. That strong sense of love will be developed. So we have more strong sadhana, then that sadhana will lead to more and more having affection for the Lord, attachment for the Lord, for love for the Lord. So if we have a strong sense of love for the Supreme Lord, then we can discharge our duty at the same time remember him. But we have to develop that sense of love. Arjuna, for instance, was always thinking of Krishna. He was the constant companion of Krishna, and at the same time he was a warrior. Krishna did not advise him to give up fighting and go to the forest to meditate. Lord Krishna delineates the yoga system to Arjuna. Arjuna says that the practice of this system is not possible for him. But he was the greatest devotee because he knew the art of remembering Krishna. Out of love, he was attached to Krishna. So while fighting, he was remembering Krishna. So he did not need to practice Ashtanga Yoga to go to forest and retire and meditate on the Lord separately. No, he was remembering the Lord out of love, and he could do his duty of fighting for the pleasure of the Lord. Arjuna uvacha yoyam yogastvaya prokta samyena madhusudana etasya hamna pashyami chanchalatva sitam stiram. Somebody can read the translation. Somebody else can read the translation, please, quickly.
Arjuna said, "O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady."
Yeah, Bhagavad 6.33. So Arjuna is saying, I reject this, system of yoga what you've given. Ashtanga yoga is not feasible for me. But the Lord says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yoma same yuktata momataha. Somebody else can read the translation, please. Praveen Prabhu, you're not reading.
Of all yogis, the one with the great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 47.
Wait. Yeah, correct. So that's why I'm saying the highest yogi is one who thinks of me. So Arjuna is always thinking of Krishna. So he's the highest yogi. So he doesn't have to, go with all different Ashtanga yoga processes, step by step. He's already getting the culmination of Ashtanga yoga. And he's saying that, it's not practical for me. He rejects it anyway. So Arjuna has such great qualification, but he's rejecting. So who are we? We don't have much qualification only to do Ashtanga yoga. So the Bhakti yoga is most easy and sublime actually. So the path of Bhakti yoga gives us remembrance of the Lord. That's how we have become the highest yogi. So one who thinks of the Supreme Lord always is the greatest yogi, supermost jnani, and the greatest devotee at the same time. See? So the one who thinks of the Lord is the greatest yogi, is the highest jnani and the greatest devotee at the time. So that means the jnani will become greatest only when he thinks of Krishna. Yogi is greatest when only thinks of Krishna. And devotee is always thinking of Krishna. So anyway, he's already great devotee and great jnani. He's above them. So he says the Lord further tells Arjuna that as a Kshatriya, he cannot give up his fighting. But if Arjuna fights remembering Krishna, then he will be able to remember Krishna at the time of death. But one must be completely surrendered in the transcendental living service of the Lord. Yeah. We have to be surrendered in the transcendental living service of the Lord. We work not with our body actually, but with our mind and intelligence. So if the intelligence and mind are always engaged in the thought of the Supreme Lord, then naturally the senses are also engaged in his service. Correct? So body means external senses, but our mind and intelligence, no, that is also active, right? We work with that. So if the intelligence and the mind are always engaged in thoughts of the Supreme Lord, then naturally the senses are also engaged in his service. Superficially, at least, the activities of the senses remain the same, but the consciousness is changed. The Bhagavad Gita teaches one how to absorb the mind and intelligence in the thought of the Lord. Such absorption will enable one to transfer himself to the kingdom of the Lord. If the mind is engaged in the service of Krishna's service, then the senses are automatically engaged in his service. See, if the mind is engaged in Krishna's service, then the senses are automatically engaged in his service. This is the art. This is also the secret of Bhagavad Gita, total absorption in the thoughts of Shri Krishna. Yeah, so we have to engage our mind and senses in the service of Krishna. So our intelligence will be used, for propagating Krishna consciousness, for making plans for becoming Krishna consciousness, for understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So we can use our intelligence and we can use our mind also for thinking of Krishna by reading, hearing, chanting. So mind is becoming more and more Krishna conscious. And naturally then senses also will be engaged in Krishna's service like that. And even if mind and intelligence maybe somewhat struggle maybe there, but senses should also be engaged, grossly. Then mind will also come back again and again. So anyway, so intelligence, mind, senses, all three we should engage. And anyway, something lacking, continue engaging, at least senses grossly. Gradually, mind will also come. So, and we should also consciously see that how our mind also gets more and more absorbed like that. But begin with senses at least get into gross services, chanting. You may say, Prabhu, but my mind is not absorbed. No problem. You engage your tongue, engage the eyes, engage the senses in the service of the Lord. Take the darshan of deities, eat prasadam, chant the names of the Lord, read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Actually, engage externally first. Then eventually mind also will come like that. So how to absorb the mind and intelligence, Gita is teaching. Such absorption will enable us to transfer into the kingdom of God. The mind is engaged in the Krishna service and senses are automatically engaged in his service. So first engage the senses and then gradually mind will come. When the mind will come, then automatically engagement of senses in service of Krishna will all go more well. So this is the art. I can clearly see, in my life also, like I can see that, before, when we come to Krishna consciousness in the early days, so we have some hesitation, we have some calculations in terms of services. I have this service, I have that service, be too much for me. Like that we have some kind of calculation, We want some rest time, we want some comfort sometimes. But I see as we grow in Krishna consciousness, actually you can do a lot of services and still you may want to do more. So how it is possible? Because we are actually, getting more absorbed in Krishna. We want to please Krishna, Krishna becomes more and more central figure for our life. He becomes more and more, the pivot of our life. It's like for husband, the wife and children, they become like the pivot. He cannot like take a break in serving the family. Yes or no? What do you think? So those are family men. You can see that how constantly they serve their family. Mother is constantly cooking, morning, afternoon, evening, getting the child ready to school, so much, continuously. There's no holiday. Your mother doesn't take holiday from you. Beta, holiday today for you. No, child will come anytime and say, Mama, I want this, I want that, whatever. So like that, So child and the wife and children become the pivot. So same way as we also grow in our Krishna consciousness, Krishna becomes the pivot of our life. So as you become more and more, your mind and intelligence will absorb more and more, the senses will naturally be absorbed. Senses and naturally will go in that direction. So you'll cook for the Lord, you'll clean the temple, you'll get into it. Now in early days, mind and intelligence may not get too much, absorbed. Then get engaged in senses, chant, read, hear. That's why we have sadhana quota, some quota, like that. So no problem, you do it. And gradually then mind and senses will also follow. So anyway, Enekin Prakarena, Mana Krishna Niveshayat. We have to absorb our mind in Krishna. And Gita is very carefully, very nicely teaching us how we can be absorbed in Krishna like that. So this is the art, and this is also secret of Bhagavad Gita, total absorption in the thought of Sri Krishna. So you can remember this point. It's a golden letter point. So what is the secret of Bhagavad Gita? Total absorption in the thought of Sri Krishna. This is the essence of Krishna Bhagavad Gita. Man mana bhavamad bhakta. You remember Krishna always. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is the golden rule of bhakti, they say. So always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. They always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That means total absorption in the thought of Krishna. That is secret of Bhagavad Gita. Modern man has struggled very hard to reach the moon, but he has not tried very hard to elevate himself spiritually. It's an amazing point. Very hard we all of us work, right? Reach the moon means material accomplishment. So much people want work hard. Very interesting. I'll take little time to explain you. See, at the time of birth, we come with no degree, with no money, with no fame, no influence, nothing, right? We just come just before. Okay, as soon as you take birth, maybe you can get something, but just before birth, you are nothing. Nothing you have, and then you get into the life, and then you get career, you get money, you get visa, you get green card, you get citizenship, you get so much of varieties of entertainment objects and so many things like that you get. You have property, bank balance, you make it. But at that, when you reach death point, the death point you get, as soon as you escape that point, death point is over, you have already died, all that becomes set to zero. So whatever you made, all that becomes zero. That time. You may say, Prabhu, I know it. You may be knowing, but think about it. From birth to death, you made no progress. Because where you starting point, you came to the again starting point only, materially speaking. Same only, starting point only have come. So no progress. But there is something that happened in this entire journey. What has happened? First thing, time has gone. Second thing is, the way you have lived your life, it has given some impact in your consciousness. Either you have elevated your consciousness or degraded your consciousness. Or worst case, you might have maintained, which is rarely. Either you have elevated or degraded your consciousness, mainly. At least you should have maintained, not degraded. But unfortunately, because people lack spiritual awareness, so sometimes at the time of birth, they may be, coming with certain inclinations and whatever it is, some consciousness, and they live life in a way so irresponsibly that they degrade their consciousness, they get into animal life. Can you imagine? It's a hellish thing, actually. So this is what we misuse our, that opportunity to elevate our consciousness. So our first duty in human life is to elevate our consciousness. That's the only duty we have. All others are secondary duties. Like I came to ISKCON Boston. Is it for ISKCON Boston I came for this headphone? Did I come for, for my sleeper? Did I come here for, some water bottle? So yes, I can have water bottle. Like today, devotee was saying, Prabhu, what do you want? Please tell. Can I get shoes for you? Can I get socks you want? Anything you want? Please tell. There's a sale, something going on. Please. I thought I have already, shoes I have, what something. Okay, then I told, okay, socks, okay, one pair of socks, maybe we can get it. It's there, but okay, you can get maybe one pair. It's fine. So the point is that we did not come for all that. But for maintenance of the body, you may have to eat, you may have to have some water, you may have to have some socks, you may have to have some shoes, you may have to have some room. You may do that. So these are your duties, as we read, some duties are there. We have to do that. So, but this is not for that we have come here. We have not come here to eat and pass stool and maintain our body, and that's not our duty. Our duty is to elevate our consciousness. So, okay, little extending. So we are not come here to get degree. We are not come here to get money. We are not come here to get green card. We are not come here to get so many nice family relatives, adoring us, giving us some kind of emotional care and supporting and getting comfort. That's not our duty. That's not our goal. These things may be there. You may be in comfortable situation. No problem. Good. But focus on spiritual life. Elevate your consciousness. That matters. So these are all secondary duties of life. We have to know our prime duty is to elevate my consciousness. That is my prime duty. Okay. So at the time of birth and death, your consciousness with which you are born, you have certain inclination, certain consciousness, certain mentality. At the time of death, it should be higher. If not highest, becoming fully Krishna conscious, going back to God, at least should be higher. That is the responsibility. We should not degrade to the lower forms of life, not degrade our consciousness. But unfortunately, many people, they get like one of the very big politicians in India, the great leader of the nation. So he was such a great leader, and it is told by many astrologers that next life he became a dog in Switzerland. So what do they use? So he was born with certain, consciousness, but at the time of death, he's not even fit to get human form. That means his consciousness is degraded. So that means he's wasted his life. All his big name, big meetings, big fan following, big salutes. It's all waste, big waste, big waste. So you can see that. That's what he's saying. Modern man has struggled very hard to reach the moon, but he did not tried very hard to elevate himself spiritually. That's the greatest flaw. Correct, no? So if one has 50 years of life ahead of him, he should engage that brief time in cultivating this practice of remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This practice is the devotional process, like that. So now these people, the young boys, they got into all this, dirty movies sometimes, this pornography and some kind of dirty movie, some kind of, flirting with women, or so many things they get into. So all this actually spoils their consciousness. It covers them more and more, and they don't understand they're paving towards hell. They're getting degraded. They're going. They're going towards the animal life. Then they don't understand these points. So what all nonsense goes on, in this world. So that's all because of not living a responsible life of trying to elevate his consciousness. You can see. So one has the 50 years of life ahead of him. He should engage that brief time in cultivating the practice of remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Otherwise, getting into all these things irresponsibly will only make us animals only. We will live together without getting married. Get into so many things. Very, very dangerous actually. Because it's animal life then. So you are born with certain human qualifications, but when you die, you are qualified to be you now got degraded. You have to become animal. So that's a very dangerous thing. So that's why one should know the shastras and understand how dangerous the life of sin. I mean, how the dangerous is sinful life. So one should avoid all these varieties of sinful activities and practice, and not just get into some getting into pious material life also. Getting some kind of material acquisitions and all, because that nothing will help. It's all going to be at zero. Only what is the most tangible progress you make is your spiritual consciousness. The degree you awaken your Krishna consciousness, that is your real progress. So real progress of a Hini person is his progress in Krishna consciousness. That is the only real progress. All other things, okay, you may make progress, but it has no meaning. As per the Bhagavatam, it has no meaning. It doesn't matter. You are rich in this life, you are poor in this life, you had all nice family members, you had no good family members. Doesn't matter. How much advancement in Krishna consciousness you made, that only matters. You got visa or not got, doesn't matter. You got green card or not, doesn't matter. You were in India or America, doesn't matter. What matters, did you make Krishna consciousness advancement or not? That only will matter. So one has 50 years of life ahead of him. He should engage that brief time. We don't have much time. Time is flying. You don't have time. When has 50 years of life ahead of him, he should engage that brief time in cultivating this practice of remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We see, unfortunately, we don't spend time on this, right? We are into so many varieties of things. Okay, we can give excuse. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. We can give excuse, but for whom? You have to think about yourself. We have to make time for our reading. We have to make time for chanting. We have to make time for remembering Krishna. Reading Bhagavatam, reading Gita, and getting deeper into it. Yeah, that's required for us. So this practice is the devotional process. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada, Sevanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmani, Vedanam, Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23. These 9 processes of which the easiest is Shravanam, hearing the Bhagavad Gita from the realized person, will turn one to the thought of the Supreme Being. This will lead to remembering the Supreme Lord and will enable one, upon leaving the body, to attain a spiritual body. Which is just fit for association with the Supreme Lord. So we have to live the life of remembering the Lord. This will lead to remembering the Supreme Lord and will enable one, upon leaving the body, to attain a spiritual body which is just fit for association with the Supreme Lord. The Lord further says, Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya gamina paramam purusham divyam yati parthanu chintayam.
He who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he who Arjuna is sure to reach me.
Yeah. So when you get the spiritual body after leaving the body, then you are fit for association with the Supreme Lord, no? Because remembering the Supreme Lord, then you're fit to have a spiritual body. Then only you can have association with the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world. Like that. So, and who meditates on me, as Lord is saying, mind constantly engaged in remembering the Lord, undeviated from the path. So he will surely reach me, Lord is saying. This is not very difficult process. However, one must learn it from an experienced person. Tad vijnanatham sadguru eva vigachet Mundaka 1.2.12. One must approach a person who is already in the practice. The mind is always flying to this and that, but one must practice concentrating the mind always on the form of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Time is also flying, mind is also flying, so many places. So don't allow the mind to fly here and there. Focus on meditating on the Lord always. That's the most important thing. We can have enough reasons to not remember Krishna, not cultivate Krishna consciousness. But who is in loss? You are only in loss. You can give 10,000 reasons. Okay, sir, agreed. All your reasons are completely perfect. Full marks in giving your nice reasons. But who is in loss? You are only in loss. So no point in just giving the reasons. We have to find out the time. We have to find out the ways by which we can be very intense and focused in our Krishna consciousness. This is my life. We have to think like that. At the end of the day, we have to think, it's my life. No, Raghu Kripa Das. Am I remembering Krishna? Am I going forward in my Krishna consciousness or not? Am I elevating my consciousness or not? I am taking serious steps to become more and more Krishna conscious or not. Who is responsible? I am not responsible. I have to help myself. All the devotees, all the Guru and Lord, all are there to help us, provided we first want to help ourselves. Otherwise, no, they are there, but we are not ready to help, then what can be done? Supreme Lord is there for everyone, but not everybody is becoming Krishna conscious. Why? Because they don't want to help themselves. So Lord help those who help themselves, those who take that serious step. I want to, when they take that responsibility of, yes, I want to become Krishna conscious, like that. And I will make out time, no excuse. I want to get up in the morning. I want to chant my rounds. I want to read Bhagavad Gita. I want to read Srimad Bhagavatam. That should be jiddi. So jiddipan hona chahiye. We should be greedy. We should be stubborn for our Krishna consciousness. That's very, very important. No need to show that stubbornness to others, but internally we should be. We don't have to speak out that way, but internally we should be. Internally we should be like making plans, get it somewhere, time, to read, hear, chant. We do that. The mind is naturally restless, going hither and thither, but it can rest in the sound vibration of Krishna. That's a beautiful point. The mind is always flying to this and that, but one must practice concentrating the mind always on the form of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna or on the sound of his name. The mind is naturally restless, going hither and thither, but it can rest in the sound vibration of Krishna. One must thus meditate on Paramam Purusham, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the spiritual kingdom, the spiritual sky, and thus attain him. So the mind can rest in the sound vibration of Krishna. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So mind can rest in the sound vibration of Krishna. So chanting is so important. What happened? What he's doing? The ways and the means for ultimate realization, the ultimate attainment are stated in the Bhagavad Gita. And the doors of this knowledge are open for everyone. No one is barred out. All classes of men can approach Lord Krishna by thinking of him. For hearing and thinking of him is possible for everyone. Lord further says in Bhagavad Gita 9:33, Mami partha pashatya yepeshu papayonayaha istriyo vaishya tata shudras tepi yanti param gatim kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajar shayas tatha anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhavasvamam. Read the translation. Okay. So the Lord says that even a merchant, a fallen woman, a laborer, or even a human being is in the lowest status of life can attain the Supreme. One does not need highly developed intelligence. You don't have to be IITian, you don't have to be MITian, not required. It's not required for perfection of life. The point is that anyone who accepts the principle of Bhakti Yoga and accepts the Supreme Lord as summum bonum of life, as the highest target, the ultimate goal, can approach the Lord in the spiritual sky. If one adopts the principles enunciated in Bhagavad Gita, he can make his life perfect and make a permanent solution to all the problems of life. These are sum and substance of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, so we have to actually really work hard for elevating our Krishna consciousness. We don't have to be very intelligent, but we should have some intelligence to understand this point. That's why I said, Jai Bhaje Krishna Se Bada Chatur. If somebody is intensely and very serious in Krishna consciousness, very pakka, he will not compromise. He will practice very strongly, no matter what the world say, no matter what the reasons come. Such a person is a truly intelligent person. So we don't need so much of intellectual intelligence so much, but we need little intelligence to be able to be Krishna conscious, like that. Yes, so if one adopts the principles in Bhagavad Gita, he can make his life perfect and make a permanent solution to all the problems of life. These are some and substance of the entire Bhagavad Gita. In conclusion, Bhagavad Gita is a transcendental literature which one should read very carefully. Gita Shastram idam punyam ya pathet pretat punam puman. If one properly follows the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, one can be freed from all miseries and anxieties in this life. And one's next life will be spiritual. Vishnu padam avapnoti bhaya shoka divarjitaha Gita Mahatmya. There is also a further advantage. Gita dhyana shilasya pranayama parasya cha naiva shantihi papani purva janmani janma kritani cha. Read the translation.
If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him.
Amazing, no? So the reaction of the past misdeeds are so powerful, but will not act upon you if you read very sincerely and all seriousness. Yes. Gita Mahatmya 2. The Lord says very loudly in the last portion of the Bhagavad Gita 18:66. Sar dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam amrita ham tvam sara papebhyo moksheshami ma shucha. Read.
Abandon all varieties of religion.
Somebody else, one by one can read.
Yeah.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all the sinful reactions. Do not fear. Thus the Lord.
Wait. Yeah. Thus the Lord takes all responsibility for one who surrenders unto him, and he indemnifies such a person against all reactions of sins. No? Yeah. So Lord takes responsibility of somebody who surrenders to him, and he identifies such a person against all reactions of sins. Mala nirmochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine sakrit gitamrita stanam samsara maranashanam. Somebody else can read.
One may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water, but if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished.
So all of you have opportunity to take sacred bath in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, because we are reading complete Gita in this 1 month. So do this, sacred bathing in the Bhagavad Gita. So please do. It's very powerful. Gita sugita kartavya kim anyay shastra vistaraihi ya swayam padmanabhasya mukha padma vinishrata. So the dirt of material life is altogether vanished, he is saying. Read the further.
Because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one need not read any other Vedic literature. One need only attentively and regularly hear and read Bhagavad Gita. In the present age, people are so absorbed in mundane activities that it is not possible for them to read all the Vedic literatures. But this is not necessary. This one book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice because it is the essence of all Vedic literatures, and especially because it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So whatever is there in all the Vedic literatures, everything Gita has, and it has more also. So we don't have to worry. So reading so many Puranas, some people keep Shiva Purana, this Purana, that Purana, they want to read so many things. You read Bhagavatam, Gita, everything is done. You don't read, we are not disrespectful to all literatures, but the point is we don't have time. Your time is limited. So let us go deeper in Gita and Bhagavatam. That will please all the Shiva, Kali, Durga, everybody will be pleased. Ganesha, everybody will be thoroughly pleased if you take shelter of the Supreme Lord firmly. As it is said, 1 minute. So it's called essence of all Vedic literature. Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic literature. This is what I tell during my book distribution many times. Essence of all the Vedic literature, Bhagavad Gita. भारतामत सर्वशं विष्णु वक्त्राद विनिष्टतम गीत गंगोदकं पित्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते. Somebody else can read.
One who drinks the water of Ganges attains salvation. So what to speak of one who drinks the nectar of Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the essential nectar of the Mahabharata, and it is spoken by Lord Sri Krishna himself, the original Vishnu.
Yeah, so one who drinks the water of the Ganges attains salvation. What is speak of one who drinks the nectar of Bhagavad Gita, which is much more powerful. That came from the Lord. It was same, but it is so powerful also. Yeah, it is spoken by Lord Krishna and the original Vishnu. This one is a nice thing. Said Padmanabhasya Mukha Padma Vinishrita. It's coming from the lotus mouth of the Lord. So this Krishna, the Gita message is like coming from the Lord's mouth. So amazing, no? Like something coming out from the Lord directly. Like Lord is speaking to you and something is written. So amazing. It's recorded, Lord's speech is recorded. It's not ordinary. Like directly hearing from the Lord. So amazing. So it says Bhagavad Gita comes from the mouth of the Supreme Lord, got it. And the Ganges is said to emanate from the lotus feet of the Lord. Of course, there is no difference between the mouth and the feet of the Supreme Lord. But from an impartial study, we can appreciate that Bhagavad Gita is even more important than the water of the Ganges. Sarvopanishado gavo dogda gopalanandanaha parthavatsa sudhir bhokta dugdam gita amritam mahat. Somebody else can read.
This Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all the Upanishads, is just like a cow, and Lord Krishna, who is famous as cowherd boy, is milking this cow. Arjuna is just like a calf and learns scholars and pure devotees are to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita.
So Upanishad is a nice comparison. Gita Upanishad is the essence of all the Upanishads, just like a cow. Lord Krishna, who is a famous as cowherd boy, is milking the cow, and Arjuna is just like a calf. And the learned scholars and purities are drink to this nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita. So, like that. So Gita is like a cow, and Lord Krishna is milking that, giving it to Arjuna, is milking the cow, and Arjuna is like a calf. And learned scholars and pure devotees are to drink the nectar milk of Bhagavad Gita. It's for all the learned scholars and pure devotees. And Arjuna is like a calf. Ekam Shastram, this is Gita Mahatmya 6. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva Eko Mantra Tasya Namani Yani Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. Gita Mahatmya 7. Read. Somebody else should read. Go ahead.
In this present day, people are very much eager to have one scripture, one God, one religion, and one occupation. Therefore, Ekam Sastram Devaki Putra Gitam.
Yeah,
Let there be
Shastram. That's
Shastram.
a bar, no? Shastram, yeah.
Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Let there be one scripture only, one common scripture for the whole world, Bhagavad Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Pura Putra
Putra.
Eva. Let there be one God for whole world, Sri Krishna. Eko Mantras
Tasya
Tasya
Namani.
Mani, and one hymn or
One hymn.
one hymn, one mantra, one prayer, the chanting of his name, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes.
Karpya Ekam, Tasya Devasya Seva, and let there be one work only, the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes. Dharmapi ekam tasadevasya seva, and that there be one work only, the service of Supreme Godhead. The disciple succession is given. Evam parampara praptam evam rajarishya viduhu bhagavata hormone. This Bhagavad Gita as it is received through his disciple succession. So I read the translation, read the disciple succession. Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhva, Padmabha, Narhari, Madhava, Akshobhya, Jayatirtha, Jnana Sindhu, Dayanidhi, Vidyanidhi, Rajendra, Jayas Dharma, Purushottama, Brahmanya Tirtha, Vyasa Tirtha, Lakshmipati, Madhvendra Puri, Ishwarapuri, Nityananda Advaita, Lord Chaitanya, Rupa, Sarupa, Sanatan, Raghunath, Jeev, Krishnadas, Narottam, Vishwanath, Baladev, Jagannath, Bhaktivinoda, Gaur Kishore, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Now chapter 1. We'll take a short break, 3 minutes break, and we'll come back with chapter 1. Rivo. So we are done with preface and introduction. Introduction was very long. So now we have really read. Some devotees were telling to me that many times they don't read preface and introduction, directly chapter 1. So one devotee was sharing that it was good that we read preface and introduction. So nice, no?
Yes, Prabhuji, it was a really good experience.
Yeah. So let us meet after 3 minutes. Please don't go away. 45 minutes more we are going to read.
Yeah.
So be there. Take water or whatever and just come back. Whatever you have to do, 2-3 minutes break. 3 minutes break.
వచ్చింది. ఈ అమ్మాయిడు ఒక్కడే పోతున్నాడని సీను లేడు, ఎవ్వరు లేరు. ఆ స్వాతి వచ్చింది, కనీసం హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది, వేణుకు ఒకళ్ళు ఉన్నారు, వీళ్ళతో ఇదైతే
అనవసరం నీ ఇష్టం వచ్చిన చోట ఫస్ట్ చెప్పినా ఇంతకుముందు ఇంకెక్కడికి వెళ్ళదు ఒక్కడే.
Okay, we'll resume it. We are done. Everyone is there? Hare Krishna. Just checking with everyone. If everyone is there, just say yes or whatever.
Yes, bro.
Very good. Prashant, you are there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
I think Prashant is not there. Let him come back. Prashant, whenever you are there, please let me know so we can start. Have you come back, Prashant? Hare Krishna, are you there, Prashant?
Ji, Prabhu, just came. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let us share the screen. I'll share the screen. Yeah. So I wanted to share something wonderful. Yeah. This one we share. So just showing you a little bit so that you have some idea. So this is the first chapter. Observing the armies of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So if you want, you can note down somewhere. So it will have some understanding while we are reading. So the first, or you can take a screenshot, whatever you want to do it. So first is Dhritarashtra's inquiry to Sanjaya. So blind Dhritarashtra, partial to his own sons, inquires what is his sons and the Pandavas did on the battlefield. Then 2 to 11, Duryodhana's fear and diplomacy in describing the armies. This is a title. So Duryodhana goes to Dronacharya and describes the warriors of the Pandavas army and his own army and compares them. Then 12 to 19, blowing of conch shells. Signs of victory of the Pandavas. Lord Krishna and the Pandavas blow their conch shells, shattering the hearts of the opposing parties. 22 to 27, Arjuna observes the armies. In that 2025 is desiring to see the supporters of Duryodhana. Arjuna asks Krishna to take the chariot between the two armies. 26-27, seeing different kinds of relatives, Arjuna becomes overwhelmed with compassion. 28 to 46, Arjuna's reasons for not to fight. So 28-30, first reason, compassion for relatives and the resultant bodily symptoms. 31st, second reason, forcing no enjoyment in victory. 36-38, third reason, fear of sinful reaction. 39 to 43, fourth reason, harmful effects of destroying the family. And 44 to 46, Arjuna being grief-stricken decides not to fight. And then go to the next chapter. Okay? So this is how we are going to discuss further. Okay. Let me share the screen.
Vijay, would you be also able to share this PDF on the chat?
We can take a screenshot because I want to give it towards the end, no?
Okay, sure, yes.
Yeah.
I've already taken the screenshot.
I can maybe share also, but let me read first. Yeah, I'll think about it. What will benefit the best? Like that. Sometimes we keep storing the material, but we don't make use of it. So I want to see that you make use of this also. I will surely give to all of you, but in a way that by which you use it.
Ji.
Okay, so chapter 1. So the observing the armies of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So as the opposing armies stand poised for battle, Arjuna, the mighty warrior, sees his intimate relatives, teachers, and friends in both armies ready to fight and sacrifice their lives, overrun by grief and pity. Arjuna fails in his strength, his mind becomes bewildered, and he gives up his determination to fight. Text 1. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samavetaयुत्सवः mamaka pandavashchaiva kim akurvata Sanjaya. Translation, quickly you have to read translation, I read the purport. Quick, one by one.
O Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring it to fight, what did they do?
Purport. Bhagavad Gita is a widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya, glorification of the Gita. Be very attentive. I'll be very fast reading. There it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita. Abhay Prabhu, Hari Bol. You don't unmute again and again. I have to mute you 2-3 times. Bhagavad Gita is the widely theistic science summarizing the Gita Mahatmya, glorification of the Gita. There it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Krishna and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretation. The example of clear understanding is there in the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the way the teaching is understood by Arjuna, who heard the Gita directly from the Lord. If someone is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita in that line of disciple succession without motivated interpretations, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scriptures of the world. One will find in the Bhagavad Gita, see, I told this, I can underline this. One will find Bhagavad Gita, all that is contained in other scriptures, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. That is the specific standard of the Gita. It is a perfect theistic science because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. The topic discussed by Dhritarashtra and Sanjay described in the Mahabharata form the basic principles for this great philosophy. It is understood that this philosophy evolved on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is a sacred place of pilgrimage from the immemorial time of the Vedic age. It was spoken by the Lord when he was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind. The word Dharma Kshetre, a place where religious rituals are performed, is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Supreme Personality Godhead was present on the side of Arjuna. Dhritarashtra, the father of the Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In this doubt, he inquired from his secretary Sanjay, what did they do? He was confident that both his sons and the sons of his younger brother Pandu were assembled in that field of Kurukshetra for a determined engagement of the war. Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want a compromise between the cousins and brothers, and he wanted to be sure of the fate of his sons on the battlefield. Because the battle was arranged to be fought at Kurukshetra, which is a holy place, which is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedas as a place of worship, even for the denizens of heaven, Dhritarashtra became very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. He knew very well that this would influence Arjuna and the sons of Pandu favorably, because by nature they were all virtuous. Sanjay was a student of Vyasa, and therefore, by the mercy of Vyas, Sanjay was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukshetra even while he was in the room of Dhritarashtra. And so Dhritarashtra asked him about the situation on the battlefield. Both the Pandavas and the sons of Dhritarashtra belong to the same family, but Dhritarashtra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed only his sons as Kurus, and he separated the sons of Pandu from the family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhritarashtra in his relationship with his nephews, the sons of Pandu. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out. So it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion, Sri Krishna, was present, the unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana, and others would be wiped out, and the thoroughly religious persons headed by Yudhishthir would be established by the Lord. This is the significance of the word Dharma Kshetra and Kurukshetra apart from their historical and Vedic importance. So he was very fearful because the influence of the Kurukshetra could have been positively favored Pandavas, and that could have resulted in not a good outcome for, opposite outcome what he desired. to have his Kauravas win the battle. So he was concerned. That's why he's asking, and his bodily attachment is completely getting revealed. That how he's saying. So Mamaka Pandavas, Aham, मैं मेरा, मेरे बेटे और उनके, like that is saying. That shows his bodily attachment. That shows his bodily conception of life, and he's fearful of the result of the outcome of the battlefield. Text 2. Somebody's in the chat, but I'll be listening. I'll be listening more, Prabhu. Okay, but you are attentively listening, Prabhu. Everyone?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, but you can read the translation only, no? That will be okay. One by one translation we're reading, so you can participate in that. Will that be okay?
Yeah, I mean, I just came outside. My sister is there.
Oh, she has come to there, to your house?
I visited her place.
Oh, okay. So, but then how will you listen then if you're with his sister and others?
No, we both are listening.
Oh, your sister is also listening. Oh, okay. Hare Krishna, Praveen's this sister. How you're good?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, I'm good.
Very nice. Do you also chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Yes, one round a day.
Very good. Praveen taught you, no? Praveen Prabhu must have taught you.
Yes.
Very good. Did you visit any ISKCON temple before?
Yes, actually, I visited New Vrindavan and I live in and also I visited Potomac Temple.
Oh, okay. Fine. I'll be mostly coming to New Vrindavan. That time you can come. We can meet your family also.
Yeah, sure, definitely, Prabhuji.
Yeah, your husband, you and your kids. You have how many kids now?
No kids as of now.
Okay. So you got married how many years before?
3 years.
Okay, and you're in US since 3 years.
Yes.
Okay, good. Fine. So Praveen is a good soul. You are fortunate to have such nice brother. Your elder sister, right?
No, elder. Yes, elder sister.
Means how many years elder you are from Praveen?
Yes.
5, huh?
3.
3 years. Oh, okay. So good. So you have a nice younger brother, and you take good care of him in US, and he will take care of your spiritual. I mean, he's surely got more ahead in Krishna consciousness now. So he may be able to help you in a humble way, in Krishna consciousness as well.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so good that you're also hearing. Thank you. So let us read further. So your Jijaji also listening, Praveen Prabhu? Your brother-in-law is also listening?
No, Prabhu, he is not there currently.
Okay, so then you can involve your sister also, no, in translation. You also read, and she also can read one translation. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that we can be involved. I think you were feeling, yeah, I mean that I'll just listen, maybe disturbing. But no, you read, and your sister also can read. So everybody can participate, at least. Let us see how many translation can have. So, but one by one, one person, one translation, the next person, like that will go ahead.
Okay.
So, okay, text 2. So now, just again share with you just the screenshot, which I was showing you this. So 2 to 11 is Duryodhana's fear and diplomacy in describing the armies. No? Duryodhana goes to Dronacharya and describes the warriors of the Pandavas army and his own army and compares them. This is what we're going to see now. I'm going to show you. Yeah. So read. Together we can recite the verses. No? Can unmute and together recite. Sanjaya uvacha dishva tu pandavanīkam vyūnam Duryodhanastada acharya mupasangamya raja vachanam abravīt. Translation. Somebody else should read. You read, I think already, na Prabhu? Prashant? No?
O king, after looking over the army arranged in a military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
क्लास चला बोले प्लेट बना के लाए प्लेट प्रसाद का नीचे से लाए सर इसमें क्या है तीनों का बना है मम्मी अच्छा नीचे पूरा भीड़ है इकट्ठी है बाप रे आप इतना सेवा कर रहे हैं ब्रो खत्म होता है आप मेरे बाप रे कौन सा चाहिए आपको कोई भी दे दीजिए, इतना ज्यादा नहीं चाहिए मेरे को, पनीर नहीं चाहिए लोगों। नहीं, एकदम सिंपल प्रसाद दे दीजिए। एक प्लेट बताओ मेरे को, मैं बाद में लेता हूँ। मेरे को एक प्लेट निकाल दूंगा, एक और प्लेट दीजिए, उसमें निकाल दूंगा। मेरे को इतना नहीं चाहिए तो राइस टाइप का। ठीक है, मैं एक और रखता हूँ। एक प्लेट मेरे को खाली प्लेट दे दिएगा बस। Okay, so purport. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft. Okay, see, yeah. So he's talking about how our this Duryodhana went to his teacher, after seeing the army of military foundation, sons of Pandu, like that. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjay could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. Sanjay wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king, and thus assured him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sanjay, therefore, informed the king that his son, Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief, Dronacharya, to inform him of the real position. Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief, Dronacharya, to inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician. But Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangements of the Pandavas. Actually, Dhritarashtra was also concerned that because of the influence of the holy place, Kurukshetra, the mind of Duryodhana and his sons should not change, and they should not compromise. That's another thing also. Outcome of the battle is one thing, but also they may compromise, and they may settle out also. So Dhritarashtra was fearful about that as well. That's why he's considering that Kurukshetra is a holy place, it may happen. So he was a bit concerned about it. Okay, text 3. Yeah, and also he's telling he's blind of spiritual vision, bereft of spiritual vision also. That his sons were equally blind in matter of religion, but he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas. And he was sure that he couldn't. Pandavas were very pious. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage. And he was fearful and all that. Yeah. Okay, let's go further. Text 3. Pashyata Pandu Putranam Acharyam Mahatim Chamum Vyudam Tupada Putrena Tavashishyena Dhimata. Read the translation. Somebody else can read the translation, please.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada.
Oh my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu. Who's telling? Praveen Prabhu, who's telling? Duryodhana. Yeah. So he's telling to Dronacharya, and see what he's giving sarcastic remark. He's saying, oh my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Actually, Dronacharya taught all the skills to Drupada, knowing well that Drupada was going to kill him in future. But he was such a liberal Brahmana. He had a dispute with his friend. The son of Drupada, sorry, the disciple, the son of Drupada. Son of Drupada is Drishtadumna. Drishtadumna is going to kill him. He was aware of this fact. So he had a quarrel with Drupada. So, and then Drupada actually, got this son Dronacharya who can kill, got his son Drishtadumna who could kill Dronacharya. And Dronacharya knew that Drupada has got his son only for the purpose of killing me. He knew that he's going to, it's for that purpose. But still, he was happy to give him all teachings of military skills and all because he approached him. So he was so liberal. He just did his duty. So that's what he's pointing out his fault. Purport: Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana commander-in-chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupada, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secrets. When the son of Drupada, Drishtadyumna, was interested to him for military education. Now on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtadyumna took the side of the Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx after having learned the art from Dronacharya. Duryodhana pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya's so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in the battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna especially was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in the fight would lead to defeat. He was a very good diplomat, no? He's just saying such a pleasing word. Oh, my teacher, behold the great army of the son of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drutabada. These are intentions. Diplomatically, he's trying to make Dronacharya serious now. Don't be lenient, no? Sarcastically. So, very good diplomat. Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. Somebody else can read the translation. Next.
Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata, and Drupada.
So he's talking about the Pandavas' army. Here in this army, many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great for the Yudhana, Virata, and Drupada. Purport. Even though Dhritarashtra was not a very important obstacle in the face of Duryodhanacharya's very great power in the military art, there were many others who were causes of fear. There are mentioned by Duryodhana as the great stumbling blocks on the path of victory, because each and every one of them was as formidable as Bhima and Arjuna. He knew the strength of Bhima and Arjuna, and thus he compared the others with them. Text 5. Tastiketu Cheskitana Kashirajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bhojascha Shabhyascha Nrapungavaha. Read translation. Somebody else? Go ahead.
There are also great heroic
I think Praveen Prabhu's sister may want to read, no? Yes, Praveen Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Let us complete the loop. Yes, go ahead.
There are also great, heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kasi Raja, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, and Saibya.
Yeah, so these all names are also mentioned. Yeah, text 6. Yudamanuscha Vikranta Uttamajascha Viryavan Savadha Dapadayascha Sarva Eva Maharathaha. Translation. Next, somebody else. Prashant Prabhu, you read. Yeah.
There are the mighty.
Oh, there is Venu Prabhu. Venu Prabhu, you want to read? Okay, go ahead, Prabhu. I think he's not available. Yeah, go ahead.
They are the mighty Yudamanyu, the very powerful Uttamamoja, the son of Shubhadra and the son of Draupadi. The sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
अस्माकं तु विशिष्टा ये तानि बोधति योत्तमं नायका मम सैन्यश्च संज्ञार्थः तान् विमेते. Next.
But for your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are
captains
who are especially qualified to lead my military force.
Now he's talking about his military force. No? So let us see what is. So 2 to 11, Duryodhana's fear and diplomacy in describing the armies. No? So, okay, so now he will describe his army. Okay, till now he described Pandavas. So now he will talk about his also. But let me tell about the captains who are specially qualified to lead my military force. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayaha Ashwathama Vikarnascha Samaditastha Vecha. Read the translation. Somebody else. Quickly go ahead.
There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Krishna.
Not Krishna, Kripa.
Oh, sorry.
Krishna Arjuna.
Vikarna and the son of Somadatta called Burishrava, who are always victorious in battle.
Yeah. Purport, Duryodhana mentions the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom were ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhana, Ashwatthama is the son of Dronacharya and Somadatti, or Bhurishrava is the son of the king of the Bahilikas. Karna is the half brother of Arjuna. I did also mistake. I think I pointed out all of your mistakes, so I'm also making mistakes. Getting some reaction. Karna is the half brother of Arjuna, as he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. You know the past, you know the story of Karna, right? And then Kripacharya's twin sister married Dronacharya. Kripi. No? Yeah. Text 9. Anye cha bahavashura madarthe takta jivata nana shastra praharana sarve yuddha visharada. Somebody else can read the translation, please.
There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science.
Purport, as far as others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritvarma, and Shalya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, this is very nice purport. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was, of course, confident of his victory on account of the above-mentioned combined strength of his friends. So, in one sense, he is himself declaring that they are going to die for my sake. Though he is actually trying to tell how dedicated they are for me. But actually, what he's saying is truth. They're prepared to lay down their lives for my sake, and they're going to anyway lay down. They will actually die. He's saying because it's sinful. No, Duryodhana is in sinful mission. Text 10. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma bhirakshitam paryaptam tadasmetesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. Translation.
Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited.
Purport. Here is an estimation of comparative strength is made by Duryodhana. He thinks that the strength of his armed forces is immeasurable, being specifically protected by the most experienced general, grandfather Bhishma. On the other hand, the forces of the Pandavas are limited, being protected by a less experienced general Bhima, who is like a fig in the presence of Bhishma. Duryodhana was always envious of Bhima because he knew perfectly well that if he should die at all, he would only be killed by Bhima. He knew that. But at the same time, he was confident of his victory on account of the presence of Bhishma, who was a far superior general. His conclusion that he would come out of the battle victorious was well ascertained. So he was materially calculative. He did not know that the material calculation won't work. If you may have everything but not Krishna, your life is inauspicious. But if you have nothing but you have Krishna, you are most fortunate, the most glorious. So he is having all that military power, strength, but he did not have grace of the Lord. Lord was not with him. Lord was with Arjuna. So Arjuna is more gloriously situated that way. Text 11. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagvam asthita bhishmameva virakchantu bhavantah sarva evahi. So you may have all these material acquisitions, properties, and everything. It's like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Duryodhana had all these things, like big 0. But no Krishna. But Pandavas, they may have whatever, other things, strength and all that, maybe zeros, but he has 1. So that's why it all was valuable. So it's in the same way, you may be rich, maybe, doctor, engineer, so many things. But unless you don't have Krishna with you, everything is 0. It doesn't have any value. Yeah, go ahead with the translation. Somebody else.
All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the flanks of the army.
Purport, Duryodhana after, see, now again his diplomacy, how he is very chalak, clever. Purport, Duryodhana after praising the prowess of Bhishma, further considered that others might think that they had been considered less important. So in his usual diplomatic way, he tried to adjust the situation in above words. He emphasized that Bhishma Dev was undoubtedly the greatest hero, but he was an old man, so everyone must especially think of his protection from all sides. He might become engaged in the fight and the enemy might take advantage of his full engagement on one side. Therefore, it was important that other heroes not leave their strategic positions and allow the enemy to break the phalanx. Duryodhana clearly felt that the victory of the Kurus depended on the presence of Bhishma Dev. He was confident of the full support of Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya in the battle because he well knew that they did not even speak a word when Arjuna's wife Draupadi in her helpless condition had appealed to them for justice while she was being forced to appear naked in the presence of all the great generals in the assembly. Although he knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for the Pandavas, he hoped that these generals would now completely give it up as they had done during the gambling performances. So he had some false hope. So all of us must give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at respective study points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. So see, he's trying to that way encourage others also. And don't think that you're not important. You're also important. Bhishma may become engaged, but you have to be protecting him also. So very diplomatically, he kept both of them felt important. Like all of them felt important. Text 12. Tasya sanjane harsham kuru vriddha pitamaha singanadam vinodyascha shankham dadmo patapavan. Now the shankh will blow. Yes. Conch will blow. Translation.
Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of lion, giving Duryodhan joy.
Purport. The grandsire of the Kuru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson, Duryodhana, and out of his natural compassion for him, he tried to cheer him up by blowing his conch shell very loudly, befitting his position as a lion. Indirectly, by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle. Because the Supreme Lord was on the other side. But still, it was his duty to conduct the fight, and no pains would be spared in that connection. Text 13. Tata shankasha bheryasya panavana kabo gomukha sahasevapya hanyatya cha shabdastumulo bhavat. Read the translation.
After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous.
After Bhishma blown, then all this will come again. Tata Shweta Sarayukte Mahanti Sayandani Stitau Madhava Pandavaschaiva Divyo Shanko Pradatmado. Yeah, somebody else.
On the other side.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the other,
go in sequence, huh? Go in sequence. Whichever sequence is there. Yeah.
On the other side, both Lord Krishna.
I think they're Prashant Prabhu and Mata. So she couldn't get it. Yeah. Read.
On the other side, both the Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by the white horses, and sounded their transcendental conch shells.
Yeah, so Lord Krishna and Arjuna, now they are on the chariot, and they're drawn by white horses, and now they are blowing the transcendental conch shell. So now here transcendental word has come. For Bhishma, it was not written like that, because they are divine personalities. Of course, Bhishma is a great devotee also. We should never underestimate. Bhishma is a very great devotee, but Bhishma is taking a side of a Kauravas by the desire of the Lord. It's another mystery, which many people may not know. Bhishma just took that role on the desire of the Lord, because Lord wanted to show even such a person may be great as Bhishma, if he is taking side of the religion, will be defeated. So Lord wanted Bhishma to be on the side of Kauravas internally, not externally. Internally, he wanted him to be like that. Purport. In contrast with the conch shell blown by Bhishma Dev, the conch shells in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. See? The sounding of the transcendental conch shells indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side, because Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Paksha Janadana. Victory is always with persons like the sons of Pandu, because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there, because the goddess of fortune never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune were awaiting Arjuna, as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shell of Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna. And this indicated that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides, wherever it was drawn over the three worlds. So these are all different signs of victory. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Poundam Dadmo Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrikodaraha. Read the translation.
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his the Devadatta, and the Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Pondra.
So all of them are blowing their individual conch shells. Yeah. All these Pandavas, like that. Name is also mentioned. Bhima and yeah. Purport. Lord Krishna is referred to as Rishikesha. Very beautiful purport. In this verse, because he is the owner of all senses. The living entities are part and parcel of him. And therefore, the senses of the living entities are also part and parcel of his senses, the Supreme Lord senses. The impersonalists cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all living entities as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the hearts of all living entities, directs their senses. But he directs in terms of the surrender of the living entity. And in case of a pure devotee, he directly controls the senses. Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjuna. And thus his particular name of Rishikesha, that's his particular name of Rishikesha. The Lord has different names according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudana because he killed the demon of the name Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudev because he appeared as the son of Vasudev. His name is Devaki Nandana because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandana because he awarded his childhood pastimes to Yashoda and Vrindavan. His name is Parthasarthi because he worked as charioteer of his friend Arjuna. Similarly, his name is Rishikesha because he gave direction to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjuna is referred as Dhananjaya in this verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to make expenditures for different sacrifices. Similarly, Bhima is also known as Vakrodhara because he could eat as voraciously as he could perform Herculean tasks, such as killing the demon Hidimba. So the particular types of conch shell blown by different personalities on the side of the Pandavas, beginning with lords, were all very encouraging to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there were no such credits, nor the presence of the Lord Krishna, the Supreme Director, nor that of the Goddess of Fortune. So they were all predestined to lose the battle. And that was the message announced by the sounds of the conch shells. So you got the point. No? So there are signs of victory for Arjuna Pandavas. So we have done till 15th verse. Okay. Should I do one more? Maybe one more. Then we'll stop 16 seconds. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putratu Dishra Nakula Sah Devascha Sugosha Mani Pushpakau Kashasya Parameshasya Shikhandi Cha Maharatha Dishya Dunya Viratasya Satyakisya Parajitaha Tabitota Padayasya Sarvasya Pasvi Padaya Sabadasya Mahabahu Shankar Tatma Patak Patak. See the translation?
King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadeva blew the Sughosha and Manipushpaka. The great archer, the king of Kasi, the great fighter Sikhandi, Drishadimya, Pirata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells.
Yeah, purport. Sanjaya informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle, beginning with the grandsire Bhishma down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world. All were present there and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Anant Vijaya, Nakul Sahadeva, Sughosh, Kashi. Yeah. Yeah, so all of them do their conscience. You know. And Dhritarashtra actually was, in one sense, he's responsible because he's sanctioning all the wrong activities of Duryodhana because of his attachment, better attachment. He was not as bad as Duryodhana, but because he was attached to that evil, the demoniac son, Duryodhana, that's why he also is equally responsible. That's why it is very important that we shouldn't be attached to that kind of wrong association. Then we also get all that, and we also share that responsibility of all those wrong things. So we should not be attached to any person who is having ill motives, wrong actions, sinful activities. Like our Vibhishana. Vibhishana did not support Ravana. He did not. He in fact took shelter of the Lord Ram. Just because his brother is there, he did not take shelter like that. Same way you don't find Prahlad also, did not support Hiranyakashipu's activities. So here they are not attached. But here you can see how Dhritarashtra was attached to the sinful son. So there was Anga Maharaj, he was not attached to Vena. Vena was a sinful son. When he'd go to play, he'd kill his friends. So Anga Maharaj tried to rectify him. He was not ready. When he took retirement, he went to Jangal, he started meditating. But he did not support it. So we should not support anybody who's sinful. Very, very, very important. Even though you may not be bad, but if you support that sinful person, then you also are implicated. So it's valid. We can help the person to rectify, that is okay, but not support his sinful activities. That be careful. So let me see how much we have done. So 12 to 19. Okay. So, okay. Can we complete 19 so that we have the next section? 20.
We can complete to Prabhu, so that 20 will complete.
Yes, yes. So 19 will go. Sagoshodata. Okay, just 1 minute. Yeah. Sagoshodat Rashtanam Hidayani Vidarayat Navascha Prithvim Chaiva Tumulo Bhinudanayan. Yeah, good translation. Next. Who is the next chance? Who is supposed to read?
The blowing of these different conches became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra.
Sons of Dhritarashtra.
Sons of Dhritarashtra.
Purport: when Bhishma and the others on the side of the Duryodhana blew their respective conches, there was no heartbreaking on the part of the Pandavas. Such occurrences are not mentioned. When in this particular verse, it is mentioned that the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the sounds generated by the Pandavas party. This is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. When you take shelter of the Supreme Lord, has nothing to fear, even in the midst of the greatest calamity. Text 20. Atha vyavasthitan pradishta dhatarashta kaviddujaha प्रवृत्त शस्त्र संपत्ते धनुर्मध्य पांडवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम इदमाह महीपते. Translation.
At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of the Dhritarashtra drawn in the military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
So he's ready now, and Hanumanji is there in the flag. He took his bow and prepared to shoot arrow. After looking at the sons of the Dhritarashtra drawn in the military array, Arjuna spoke to Lord Krishna, these words. So further he will speak, and what he is going to speak is this. Arjuna will observe the armies first, and then he will tell the reasons not to fight. Then he becomes completely, overwhelmed by the compassion and all that. He becomes very weak. So he observes the army, and very interesting discussion is going to come. You will see that how Krishna takes him between the army, and that time when he sees all his near and dear ones, he gets completely bewildered. And then the whole crux of Gita starts. He starts giving the reasons for not fighting, and then Gita will be spoken by Krishna. Krishna speaks later in second chapter. He begins speaking. Okay, the battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. Yeah, the emblem, they did not expect they could arrange so much, So that's why Dhritarashtra and party, they were a little bit surprised. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana. The Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama only. So Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Rama is his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle. In such auspicious conditions, arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee, lay the signs of assured victory. So all the signs of victory is there. So that's why it is very important for us to always take shelter of the Lord without getting too much into calculations, what I have, whether I will be really able to, so many things. No, just take shelter of the Lord. You'll be ultimately victorious. Satyameva jayate. Just when you take shelter of the Supreme Lord, absolute truth, then it doesn't matter. You're rich, you're capable, you're not capable, doesn't matter. Like Arjuna, Pandavas, they were not that much having great army like Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. You're offline. Some functionality will be enabled. Oh, I'm offline. So yeah, so there's so many signs of victory you can see. Krishna is there, so Hanumanji is there. Agni gifted the chariot. So many signs of victory were there, right? Then the conch shell blown, and then their hearts were shattered. So many things. So we can see. So one should know that as soon as there is Krishna, then all auspiciousness will be there in our life. So we always have then very great weight. But if Krishna is not there, if grace of God is not there, then you may have everything, but you are asar. Same way, we should also know that when we should always have grace of Guru and Krishna and devotees in our life. When we are connected to them, we are having the shelter. No matter what you're going through in your life, doesn't matter. It's all the details. You will be victorious. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Because you're engaged in the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya by taking shelter of bona fide spiritual master, by taking shelter of Vaishnavas. When you're then you'll always remain protected. You will grow in your Krishna consciousness and you will attain ultimate perfection of your life. But you may have very nice material life, money, this and that, but you don't have shelter of the bona fide spiritual master, devotees, no Krishna consciousness. Your life is risky because you never know. You can always be degraded to the lower forms of life. We never know. As I said, birth, death, it's all going to get zero. Birth, you have nothing. You make all arrangements, everything again becomes zero at the time of death. Everything is snatched away. And then what is with you is your consciousness. So if you have really worked on a Krishna consciousness, your consciousness can be elevated. That's the real benefit. And that is only possible when you have Krishna with you. Then only your consciousness is elevated. That's the only benefit. That's a real benefit. What you can get. Otherwise, all other benefits are no benefit. Okay, so yes, any reflection? You can quickly have some reflection on the devotees. One point you can share, and your experience you can share. So we have done till 19th verse. So we will continue later. We'll continue. When we can meet, that also we can decide maybe. I would like to have on Saturday, Sunday also, little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, first let us hear the reflection quickly from the devotees.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Experience and reflection, any point, yes. Quickly, one point, fast.
So one point which I have noted down is that we should start using everything we have, or rather be simple for Krishna, like to attain Krishna and become Krishna conscious.
Simple. You should become simple.
Like rather keep yourself simple, or whatever comes to us through destiny, we should use that in Krishna consciousness, attaining Krishna consciousness.
You may be loser in the world, in the eyes of the world, but if you have Krishna, you are actually a winner. World may think, oh, this fellow doesn't have this, he doesn't have that, he's only living in 2 BHK, I have 5 BHK. Yeah, this fellow is ordinary job, I have big job. You may be loser, you may not have so much, So don't be part of rat race of this world. We are not here to compete and impress. Nothing will happen. We won't gain anything. If you can please the Supreme Lord, that's the greatest gain. Because these people are themselves in clutches of illusory energy. To impress them won't help us. To impress them. Yeah. So we have to be very intelligent to cultivate our Krishna consciousness very intelligently. Thank you, Prashant. Yes, next, please.
Prabhu, I found one thing we all many things like going to moon or Mars mission, all those things we are finding materially, it is so difficult. But we can transfer our souls to higher spiritual world with the simple practice of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so much hard endeavor, so much of complex life we are living now. So much people have to do.
So complicated. We need to have success. That this and all. We don't know where we will we fall down. But simple practice.
Where we will what?
Pardon.
Where will we fall? You saying?
See, in success, while to achieve material success, we will one or the other day we will fall down in material by going to get try to get material success.
We get fall in the pool of material existence. Yeah, correct. Yes, that's true. Yeah. So much hard endeavor is done. Our education system is so complex, no? So much you have to study. There is so much of complications. Education
it is making us go in a wrong direction and working hard.
Yeah, Prabhupada said modern education system is like slaughterhouses. No, it kills the propensity to serve the Lord. No? People become atheist, no? Going through all this.
Yes, even
become
good
very
people
proud, atheist. Yeah, sometimes.
Many good people also go towards atheist, become atheist.
Yeah. So we are not against. We are only concerned that people should not lose their simple heart, devotional heart. No? That's why parents have very great responsibility. Even though you may be sending your children to school, but be very, very careful that we give a very strong, spiritual nourishment at home. Very important. Very, very important. Because the way the education system is designed is just makes the person work hard and memorize and many things like that. So Gurukula was the right kind of system where people were engaged with the propensities and they were given spiritual education. So yeah, we should have our best efforts to give people as much as possible Krishna conscious education. It's important. So, but yeah, this thing what you said is true. We live a very complex life. People working hard, 16 hours, 18 hours you're working. No time for any Krishna conscious cultivation. Night shifts, terrible. So many ways, right? The screen, their eyes are strained, completely, and a lot of stress and anxiety. So they've made our life very complex. No, we are living so much of an artificial, complex life. That's why it is a simple living, high thinking. That means don't make too much of life complex. Make it simple.
We
and
try
then
to
focus on Krishna consciousness because that ultimately counts.
We try to entangle more instead of detangle.
Yeah, correct. Yes. But we have to have balance, in a way that we don't go to extreme. Not like you have to just give up everything. Cut. You have to gradually, under the guidance of Guru and Krishna, we should see how we should, increase our Krishna time. Should find out time for our sadhana, japa, reading, hearing. Should find time and try to manage your responsibilities and balance life properly. Important. Yes. And how was the experience of reading? The overall experience. Prashant, did not share anything. Overall experience today.
Ji Prabhuji, it was really good. It's the first time I'm reading from the beginning. So yeah, we covered 20 verses. That is really good. Really like the. I recently watched that Kurukshetra animated movie on Netflix. So that actually was kind of helpful when I'm reading this now.
And did my reading was too fast or it was okay?
No, Prabhuji, it was fine. I was able to make down, like I was noting notes. I was noting down the verses.
Very good. Yeah. So I was trying to. Sometimes I give more explanation. Sometimes I do very fast. So
yeah,
but
I think this one. This one is about the battlefield. So yeah, it was really nice. As a face.
You're also like Kshatriya or what?
That's the essence of Gita, like in beginning. Later on, it will be more like philosophical, and this one is more like knowing the characters and what people did.
Yeah. Good. Yes. Next, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Prabhuji, it was a good experience going through and reading Bhagavad Gita. So, Prabhuji, I have few reflections like if we have the grace of God, then we have everything, and by engaging in His service, we can engage our intelligence and mind in the thought of Krishna. And also, like one more thing, like which I liked a lot, like abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender into me, and I shall deliver you from all the sinful reactions. So,
yeah, correct. That's a translation of 18.66 verse. Yeah. And you said that when you engage in service of Krishna, then our mind and thoughts will come on Krishna also, correct? That's what you're saying.
yes,
we have to externally also first engage, no?
Yes.
Yeah, and then gradually mind on or thinking will be of more Lord also. Correct. That's true.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
And next, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, I also experienced that, like earlier, like when we were doing the Bhagavad Gita sessions and doing chanting, it was a more fruitful, and then anyhow, like it stopped, and then I felt that chanting was not that much effective. Now we are again starting the chanting and the reading session, so I feel that, like, again it's making a lot of impact on me again.
Chanting.
Chanting and reading both, like.
So what you're saying, I'm trying to understand. You're saying that before, when we were having regular reading session in the evening, then chanting
Yes,
was going good, correct?
yes,
And
Prabhuji.
when it was stopped, it was not going so good.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And when again we are doing now, so again chanting is becoming better, like that.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. And reading, also saying reading is becoming better. No? So reading, we are doing anyway.
Yeah, like I mean to say that now again we started reading, and now and also like chanting, so it is making a more impact now again.
Okay. Overall, it is helpful to become more Krishna conscious also.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right. So what is saying that before we are having reading and chanting also was going good. So overall impact was good before.
Yes,
In
Prabhuji.
between reading stopped, chanting also became low. So overall impact of Krishna consciousness was getting reduced. Correct.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Again we are reading. Now again chanting is becoming better. So again the impact of Krishna consciousness is more.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, good lesson. That means we have to read. All of us should continue reading. That's the point. So read, and when you read well, you hear well, then you will chant well also. That is true. It's a very important point. That's why we should read. That's why we need to read. Prabhupada said so much, na? Divert your attention to Vedic literatures. He said that's the way you remember Krishna. And when you remember Krishna, develop attachment to Krishna, then you can chant better. Because then by chanting, you will have thoughts of Krishna more. No? Because you have read a lot. Then you will be you get clarity. Then illusion gets subsided. Then you can be little more detached from all the mind which is getting here and there. You understand? इस क्या illusory चीज में लगा हुआ है? भजो रे मन अशीनंदन. You can. It is more easy for you to bring your mind back to Krishna. But otherwise, mind just goes flickers here, there, like that. So that's why reading is very important. It removes the cloud of illusion. Very important. Reading, hearing is so vital. Yes, others. I think Praveen Prabhu and his sister is remaining. Go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So one point is you were mentioning birth and death. So at the birth, there is certain level of consciousness, and at the death, there is certain level of consciousness. So all our endeavor in the life should be that the consciousness should be higher at the death. You know.
Yes.
So
but we do endeavor to get many things, but not Krishna consciousness. We don't too much very. Yes.
Yeah. So that consciousness, it's not necessarily depends on the advancement in the material facilities. So one might be very poor, one might be very broken, he doesn't have a big salary, job, good wife, or etc. etc. But at the end of the day, or during the time of the death, if his consciousness is higher, which is almost like conscious of Krishna, then his life is completely successful.
Perfect. Yeah, that's true. You see, many people like Pandavas, was it like everything comfortable? No, they had to go to jungle, they had so much troubles, this and that. But because they were always think Krishna conscious, their life is perfect. Jatayu was even killed, but he was Ram conscious, life is perfect. So you can see that. So all the characters in Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj, so much trouble with the father, but he was Krishna conscious, life was perfect. So this is the constant theme in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we don't have to worry about good situation of our life. And never have to get good situation, comfortable life. Oh, you can try, but that's not the main goal. Main goal is to be Krishna conscious. In good and bad times, be very Krishna conscious. Cultivate Krishna consciousness. Keep chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Keep reading Bhagavatam Gita. Good time has come, read Gita, read Bhagavatam, chant. Bad time has come, read Gita, read Bhagavatam, chant. Associated duties. Continue the same thing. Be steady in good and bad. Then you'll attain Krishna. Yes, Honorable Praveen Prabhu's sister.
Oh no, Prabhu. She
She's
doesn't.
not? She's gone? Okay.
I mean, she doesn't have much. Like she's just like not into reading. Even she's.
Oh, don't worry. She's your sister and she's elder sister. She is more than you. You can share, Mataji. Don't worry. Share any point.
Okay, let me call her.
Oh, she has left now. Okay, but you can call, yes. Anybody else is remaining? Venu Prabhu? Yes, go ahead, Venu.
Yeah, my sister is here, Prabhu. She speak.
Yeah, so you can share about your experience. How was your experience today in the reading session? Was it very fast, slow? How did you found everything? And some points. Did you hear the entire 2 hours?
Sorry, Prabhuji, can you please repeat?
Did you hear the entire 2 hours?
No, Prabhuji, I was on last half an hour or 40 minutes only.
Okay, no problem. And how was your experience overall? And
Yeah.
any reflection, any point which was striking to you?
Yeah, so far the reading experience is good. It's not too fast or too slow. It was at the same pace. And the thing like what comes to my mind when reading this first chapter is the first chapter whole is the whole depiction of the strength and the warriors who are being involved in the Kurukshetra. It's a basic description of the both parties. So like, and also they have been describing the strengths and everything. Like, so that's what comes to my mind, Prabhuji.
But what are the point? Like something which you know could take in, like, okay, this is description, you got it. But any point which we discussed or something, some point, some principles which you learned today, some lessons you learned today.
No, Prabhuji, I'm not getting anything there.
I'll give you some hint. Like I talked about, you know, you may have so many zeros, but if you don't have one, you remember something I was saying? Like 0, 0, 0, money, well, so much zero. But if you have one, then it becomes so valuable.
Yes, correct.
You remember that point?
No, Prabhuji. Like
maybe you're not there that time.
I say now, but I don't. Yeah.
So I was saying that if we have Krishna, within the many things may not be there, but our life is auspicious. There's so many things, but no Krishna, then life is not so auspicious. You remember this point?
Yeah, got it now. Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
You remember that point, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
No,
Okay, thank you. So you can join again. And Saturday we are planning. When we can have Saturday? Any guess? Any suggestion devotees can give? When can we have on Saturday?
Morning.
Morning is okay. I'm also thinking morning. I was thinking morning we can do like, oh no. Saturday I am having classes in the afternoon actually. I can do maybe in the evening.
Yeah, same time if you don't mind, Prabhuji. 5:30.
5:30, no?
Yeah.
I think it is possible. Saturday evening 5:30, 7:30. So. Yeah. I'll just see my calendar. Saturday. It should be okay. Saturday evening I don't have any direct. Yeah. Okay, Saturday evening 5:30, 7:30 is okay. Fine. I can do that. Okay.
Sure. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So we will have then Saturday. Are you okay, Praveen Prabhu? Saturday 5:30 to 7:30. Praveen Prabhu?
Mostly I'll join, Prabhu, and try to.
Okay, good. And what about you, others? Aarti Mataji, are you okay? She left out. Okay. Dilip Prabhu, okay. Okay, Prabhu, fine. Prashant Prabhu, you're okay, no? You and Miss Esther. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Thank you. And your sister also can join, Praveen Prabhu?
Yeah, I mean, If I join, I'll make sure she is with me.
Okay. And your Jijaji?
Oh, means Jijaji means brother.
Brother-in-law.
Okay. Not sure, Prabhu.
Okay. No problem. Okay.
My
Fine,
sister.
let us pause.
Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah, go ahead.
If my sister joins, slowly she might bring him in.
Yeah. No problem. Okay. Thank you. You are going to be at her house only, no? So we can.
Yeah, until this Sunday. Then after
Okay.
Sunday, back to Orlando.
Sure. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. God bless you.